What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Naruto finds out Anko is pregnant with Orochimaru child? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the descriptio BN box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Anko was having a bad day. More so than her normal bad days. Why you may ask? The Fourth Shinobi War had just ended. Naruto Namakazi managed to defeat Madara and even saved her from Kabuto. She wasn't mad at the blonde, no, far from it. She actually admired him for proving the village wrong. That was her problem. Back before she was captured by Kabuto and before Pain's assault on the village, both she and Naruto were the village pariahs. Everyone hated them, more so Naruto than her. But now that he had become a hero throughout the elemental nations, everyone praised him. He was even going to become Hokage in 2 years when Tsunade retired. So he was now like royalty. And the village set their hate out on her now. No, before her and Naruto shared the hate. But now it was just her. It seemed that no matter what, the snake bastard would always make her life miserable. Currently she was walking to the dango shop. She was so depressed that she didn't even notice that she was just about to run into someone. When she turned the corner, wham! She came out of her depressed state to see she was falling. But she never hit the ground. Hey, watch it, asshole. Anko. 5 minutes earlier with Naruto. Today was now what Naruto would consider an average day. He was going to be Hokage, so naturally he was around Tsunade a lot. She now gave him the paperwork saying it was training for the job and responsibilities of a cage. This of course was an excuse to drink all day and not do paperwork. So Naruto found a solution. He made 10 shadow clones and set them to work. This left Naruto with a free day. So he thought he would take a stroll around the village he called home. He turned a corner only to run into someone. He saw said person falling and quickly caught her. It was Anko. She looked depressed. Hey, watch it, asshole. Anko. Oh, Anko-san, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Naruto. Anko, now realizing that she shouldn't get on the future cage's bad side. She quickly apologized. Oh, Naruto-sama, I'm sorry, please forgive my rudeness. A now embarrassed Anko, who was blushing like a tomato. Did she say she admired Naruto? Well, truth be told, she adored him and even developed a crush on him after he saved her. Naruto-sama? No, Anko-san, please, just Naruto. I hate being formal. Naruto giving her his famous Naruto grin. Are you okay? You look a little sad. You don't seem like your normal self. No, Naruto, I'm just fine. She tried to lie her way out. He saw through that. Anko-san, please let me take you for some dango, and you can tell me what's wrong. I mean, you can't fool me. Your eyes say that you aren't fine. Naruto. She thought about it and thought this could be a way to learn some more about the blonde she wished to be with. She gave a nod and the two left to the dango stand. After ordering, he once again asked her what was wrong. She explained that after he became acknowledged by everyone, the village set their hateful gaze upon her. How they only now needed to dispose of the snake whore to acquire true peace here in Konoha. Anko-san, this isn't like you. I know better than anyone that the village is ignorant. But normally you shake it off. Why is it that it is affecting you now? I don't know. Maybe it was being captured by that Kabuto freak. It was like for the first time in a very long time. I was afraid, and this caused me to give up. Anko, have I ever thanked you for saving me that day? I guess it's true. You are a ray of hope to those you meet. You gave me hope, even after I accepted that no one would come looking for me. She thought gloomily. Anko-san, you are a comrade. Therefore it was the right thing to do. You don't need to thank me. Naruto. However, no matter how he tried, she was still upset. And he knew the pain she was in. To be alone, hated and shunned. It was horrible. So he would try to help her get back to herself. Anko-san, what are you doing later this evening? Naruto. Nothing. Why? Anko. Well, I was wondering if you would allow me to take you out tonight? Like on a date? He gave her a smile that showed he wasn't lying to her. I don't know, Naruto, I kind of. Oh, come on, Anko-san, it will be fun. I promise. Well, okay, Naruto, if you insist. Pick me up at my place at 7:30? Anko. Of course, Anko-san. And wear something formal. Time skip 7:20. Naruto was walking to Anko's apartment. He was dressed in black slacks. And a black dress shirt with an orange tie. His hair was combed, though it still held a lot of its spikiness. In his hands were a bouquet of pink tulips. White tulips. Well, Ino had told him it meant he cared. So that's what he would give to Anko. Though he was quite nervous. He could take on an army of undead S-rank nin with all the confidence of the world. But as it would be, he had the confidence of a mouse running from the nibby. None at all. He arrived to her apartment and nervously knocked on the door. "Just a minute," was the reply. When the door finally opened, his jaw dropped. There stood Anko in a strapless purple dress that ended at her ankles. It tightly hugged her curves. It showed a bit of cleavage. She also had on a necklace of a snake that wrapped around a purple gemstone. "You look gorgeous, Anko-san," he said with a smile, while she on the other hand was blushing like mad. "Thank you, Naruto. You don't look bad yourself." On the inside, however, was praying this wasn't a pity date. "Oh, these are for you." He handed her the bouquet he had up until now forgot about. Anko took notice of the fact they were pink tulips. She knew their meaning and smiled. But the color reminded her of a pink-haired medic and she began to worry. "Doesn't he like that Sakura girl?" she thought sadly. "Maybe this is just a pity date." "Well, Anko-san, are you ready to go?" "Naruto." "Oh yeah." Skip. The two were at a very expensive restraint. They were seated almost immediately. Naruto being the next Hokage was no secret, so he got a reserved table meant only for the Hokage. The host seemed thrilled that the future Hokage was here, but gave a look of hatred towards his date. Something Naruto didn't miss. Right now they were waiting for their food to arrive and were just talking to themselves. "So Anko, where did you get that necklace? It looks great on you." "Naruto. Oh, this was my mother's. It's the only thing I have left of her. It's my most prized possession." "Anko. Naruto, can I ask you a question?" "Well, of course. Why bring you on a date if I didn't want to get to know you?" "Naruto. It's just, well, don't you like Sakura? I mean, why take me out if you have feelings for her?" Anko, now nervous that her suspicions might be confirmed. "Well, that's an easy and yet complex answer." "Naruto, how so?" Anko, now curious. "Well, after Pain's invasion and around the time of the Cage Summit." He then explained how she confessed to him in Iron Country. And how he could see she only did so to deceive him. Only to keep the traitor safe. How it hurt to be used and thrown to the side like trash. By the time he was done, they were walking around the village. At that moment, Anko realized just how much in common they really had. They both is hated by the village. Both of them know the pain of being alone. And both know how it feels to be betrayed by someone you admire. But bringing up these memories only made her feel worse. So she did the one thing that she hadn't done in years. She cried. Naruto thought he did something wrong when he saw this. He felt terrible seeing her like this. So out of instinct he moved over to her and held her. He sat there and tried his best to get her to stop crying. She was shocked when he did this. "Anko, please don't cry. Did I do something wrong? Did I upset you? Please stop crying." "Naruto. No. Naruto, you didn't do anything wrong," she said, no holding onto him for comfort as she sobbed in his chest. "Then why are you crying?" he said. She had calmed down slightly. "It's just that ever since Orochimaru left me, everyone hates me. Like I was the traitor. And then when you became a hero and everyone admired you. But then everyone had more time to make me more miserable. They shun me, blame me for things I didn't commit, and call me names like snake whore or snake bitch. I can't stand it." This sent her back and she began to sob once more. Naruto, now fully understanding the reason for her being upset. So he let her cry. It was better to get it out than to keep it bottled up. He kept whispering soothing words to her. Anko had eventually stopped crying. "Naruto, will you take me home?" Anko. "Of course, Naruto." So they walked back to her apartment in silence. However, Anko was walking closer to him than before. It seemed as though she didn't notice. They finally made it to her apartment. It was around 11 at night. "Thank you, Naruto, for everything," she said with a smile, and then she gave him a kiss on the cheek. "No problem. But would you want to maybe do this again sometime? Only happier, I guess?" he said nervously. "Are you asking me for another date? If you are, then yes. I would like that very much. But you know this means we are now dating, right, Anko?" she said, now getting her flirtatious nature back. "Yeah, I guess it does." "Well, good night, Anko-chan," he said with a smile. He then turned and left. Anko closed the door behind him and went to bed. The last thought going through her head was, "I finally met a guy who doesn't want to use me. Maybe he could be the one." And with that she fell into a peaceful sleep. It had been 1 month since the first date and Anko couldn't be happier. Since then they had decided to keep it on the down low. They agreed after all it was no one's business but theirs. The only ones who knew were Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Ibiki. However, they only knew because of what their work entailed. However, they were planning on telling everyone soon. It would be the biggest shock since Jiraiya showed up during the Fourth War to help Naruto defeat Madara. Oh, how she remembered how Tsunade and Naruto were pissed. They beat the shit out of him and burned his notebook. Then burnt his backup copy that was a secret. Right now she was on her way to meet Naruto at the Forest of Death. It became a place they found quite peaceful. They often took walks hand in hand around the forest. Now normally this would be suicide. But because of the Kyuubi, Naruto had a feral aura around him. And all the animals and creatures knew Naruto was an alpha. So they stayed away. Because of this it was quiet. And the forest was actually nice to look at. Plus Naruto knew that she liked being here and away from the villagers. "Hey there Anko-chan, how are you today?" a voice rang out. Anko had stopped walking during her thoughts and was standing under a tree. One that Naruto was now standing upside down above her. "Damn it Naru-kun, don't do that, you know I can't since when you do that." Anko. "Ah, but I like doing that Anko-chan," Naruto said dropping down next to her. "Shut it Naru-kun." There was a mumble about stupid Hirishin and blonde boyfriends. "So Anko-chan, what do you want to do today?" Naruto. "Well Naru-kun, it's been a month and I thought maybe we should tell everyone. I mean with you becoming Hokage it's only a matter of time." Anko. "Okay if that's what my Anko-chan wants," he said with a smile. "So how you want to do this?" At that moment Anko's mind started thinking. Maybe if we get a really big banner that says, Naru and Anko forever, and hang it from Hokage Tower. Then get Naruto to summon Gamabunta, Gamaken, and Gamahiro wave around flags with a Chibi-me and Naru-kun holding hands with hearts. No too much. How about we go on a date? And then take a walk around the village and anyone we know who asks we tell them. Anko. They then proceeded to the dango shop. Naruto knew better than to argue with her about dango. Last time he tried he ended up being chased around the Forest of Death with kunai being flung at him. If anyone were to see him that day beg her to stop would have wondered how he was going to become Hokage. Mini flashback. "Please stop throwing sharp things at me Anko-chan, I'm sorry." Naruto, who was now holding onto her leg, crying. "I won't do it again. I'll even take you for dango right now. Just no more kunai." Anko thought it quite comical. How a future Hokage, sage of Mount Myoboku, hero of the Hidden Leaf, hero of the Fourth Great War, and Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune was now latched onto her leg as if his life depended on it, crying and begging for forgiveness. "Okay, but I hope you brought your wallet. I'm feeling really hungry today," she said with an evil smirk. "Yes Anko-chan." Mini flashback end. Now at the dango shop. Naruto was now feeding Anko upon her request. She thought that hey, who gives a shit how the villagers and other shinobi found out. They got some stares of shock and some disgust. And from the women Anko got cold glares of jealousy. What they didn't count on was a certain Yamanaka seeing them. Skip. The happy couple was now walking around the village aimlessly. Occasionally stopped by someone they knew. To which they explained that they were dating. They had now explained it to Kakashi, who reading his Icha Icha, yet you could tell he was happy for the two. They ran into the green-clad taijutsu users who after hearing the story ran off screaming about youth. They ran into Neji and Tenten Shorty after apparently following Guy and Lee for training. They also saw Kurenai and Little Asuma. While the two women talked, Little Asuma kept leaning toward Naruto with his arms stretched out. Almost like he wanted out of his mother's grasp to get Naruto to hold him. "Okay fine, you can go see Naruto if he wants to hold you." "Naruto?" Kurenai said after the constant shifting of the small boy. "Oh, it's fine with me if it's fine with you Kurenai." Just as he got done talking, Little Asuma was already in his arms and playing with his whisker marks. It was almost as if he had jumped from his mother's arms to him. Naruto wasn't paying attention due to the child who was now climbing on his shoulders and playing with his golden hair. However, both women were watching him. More so Anko, who was wondering how he got along with kids. It was comical to watch a 1-year-old cripple a cage-level shinobi by pulling on his hair. Finally Naruto set Little Asuma down and flew through some hand seals, then slammed his hand on the ground. There was a poof of smoke that seemed to excite the infant. When it cleared, it revealed a small toad the size of a small dog. It had the normal blue vest and was purple in color. He was the son of Gamajiro. Little Asuma, upon seeing something his size to play with, grabbed the small toad into a death grip. Naruto? Who's the kid? And why did you summon me? Gamajiro. That is little Asuma, Kurenai's son. And well, I summoned you to play with him, of course. Naruto. The small toad could only nod. He couldn't leave as to the child holding onto him. But he would make do. After a couple minutes of playing, Kurenai said her goodbyes and went to go get Asuma. Well, Asuma-chan, we have to go say goodbye to Auntie Anko and Uncle Naruto. Kurenai. The boy only smiled and waved at the two. Uncle Naruto? Naruto asked. Well, yes, Naruto, you see, I have no siblings and Anko is the closest thing I have to a sister. Hence Auntie Anko. And if you are going to marry her, that would make you Uncle Naruto. Kurenai said with a smile. Married? Both Anko and Naruto yelled. Yes, married. I can tell you two are going to eventually get married. Call it a women's intuition. Oh, and Naruto, thank you for playing with him. I love him more than anything, but he can be a handful. And with that, the mother and son left. Anko Namakazi, huh? I like the sound of that. Anko said with a smile. Then just as they turned to leave, Naruto. Guess who? They turned to see an angry duo of Sakura Haruno and Hinata Hyuga. Well, an angry Sakura and a very pitiful-looking Hinata. Yes, Sakura? Naruto asked politely. Don't yes me. What the hell? You spend years trying to get me to go out with you, and when I finally confess to you, you throw me away. Almost like I'm nothing. Sakura. Well, Sakura, that could be because I lost respect for you. After your confession, I quit trying for your affection. You only confessed for two reasons. One was to try to stop me from finishing Sasuke. The other was more of a backup in case I did kill him. If he wasn't around, you tried to use me as a second place for you. That's not true. Sakura. Don't lie to me, Sakura. It hurt me when you did that. I realized then that you would never see me more than the silver medal, Naruto. And with that she stormed off, not even realizing Anko was there holding hands with him the whole time. Naruto-kun, it's okay, I understand why you didn't pick Sakura. But now we can be together. Hinata, who had brightened up after Sakura left. Huh? Naruto and Anko said. It's okay, Naruto-kun. I forgive you going out with Anko-san. But now we can be together like it was always meant to be. Hinata? Naruto. Naruto-kun, it's fine, just tell Anko-san you're not interested in her and we can go. Hinata. Hey, back off, Naruto-kun is mine. Anko. Ha ha ha, oh that's rich. Why would he be yours? I mean, why would he want you when he can have me? A bolder, more confident Hinata. Hinata, I'm not dumping Anko-chan. And I'm not going to do it to be with someone else. Naruto. Naruto, you're only leading her on and giving her false hope. Seriously, get it over with and we can finally be happy together. Hinata said with a slightly agitated tone. Hinata, I'm serious. I'm not going to break up with Anko-chan. Anko was now very happy at this. Hinata seemed to get angry. Naruto, how could you? You walk around with this slut hanging off you like some common whore and say you want her. Over me? I almost died to save you. I even confessed to you. Tell me, did I almost give my life up for nothing? At this point the rest of the rookies, minus Sakura, showed up along with the senseis. Kurenai had forgotten something and was watching next to Kakashi and Guy along with Yamato. Jiraiya and Tsunade were heading to a bar and stopped to see the interaction. Shizune was leaving the hospital to go home. And Ibiki just happened to be there. First off, don't ever call Anko-chan a whore. Second, if I remember correctly, if you had listened to what I said that day you wouldn't have almost died. I had Katsuyu tell everyone to stay away from that battle specifically for that reason. So no one would die during that battle. And just so you know, it's really creepy when you use your Byakugan to stalk me. I really should have dealt with that ages ago. But being the nice guy the first time decided that eventually you'd stop. Naruto, now angry at her for calling Anko a whore, slut. Fuck you, Naruto, she said with tears in her eyes. I wish pain would have caught you that day. And then she ran off crying. He sat there for a couple minutes in silence. As did everyone else, wondering how he would react. Anko was now holding onto him with her head in his chest to try and keep him calm. Naruto, however, never really thought of Hinata as more than a friend and comrade, so he never really cared what she thought. Yet it didn't help the fact that was extremely hurtful. Naru-kun? Anko asked in a worried voice. Yes, Anko-chan? Are you okay? She asked. Yeah, I'm fine. And then as Anko shifted to now hold onto his arm, they turned to continue to where they were going. When he did, he saw all of his friends, senseis and his ba-chan looking at him, worried that he could snap at the extremely harsh words of the Hyuga heiress. Naruto, you gonna be okay? Asked Tsunade, who was in tears. It hurt her to think someone that he saw as a friend say things like that to him. It didn't help that imagining what could have happened that day actually happened. Yeah, and with that he walked past them, not saying another word. Skip. Naruto and Anko were now at his new apartment. They just sat there on the couch silent. Naruto was leaning back with Anko snuggled into his chest, while he played with her hair. Naruto, thank you. For what, Anko-chan? For sticking up for me. No one has ever done that. And for staying with me. I was scared. Scared? He asked, now curious. Scared that you would have left me for Sakura or Hinata. So thank you. Anko, you don't have to thank me. What kind of boyfriend would I be if I let people say whatever they wanted about you? Besides, why would I want one of them when I have you? He asked. She smiled at that, and they sat there in silence. Naruto still playing with her hair. They sat like that until they fell asleep. Kukuku, Anko-chan, you didn't think you could get rid of me that EASSSSILY, now did you? Orochimaru, I'm going to kill you, you snake bastard. And she leapt toward the object of her misery in life. A short, one-sided battle later. Now Anko-chan, you didn't think you could beat me now, did you? Orochimaru gets onto a stance with Kusanagi to deal the fatal blow. She sits there, not like she has a choice. Her mind races. Her genin days, the betrayal, her teen years, becoming a Tokubetsu Jonin, joining the T&I. Then it hit her. Naruto. She cried at the thought of leaving him. She could only close her eyes and weep, awaiting the end. Goodbye, Naruto, she thought sadly. Then she waited for the inevitable pain that was to come. But it never came. She opened her eyes to reveal Naruto standing in front of her. Orochimaru's blade sticking in his back, coming out of his chest. It hit his heart. Anko, and then he fell, dead before he hit the ground. Ha 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 ssc Anko-chan, no one can truly defeat me. He then moves forward so he can whisper in her ear. Thanks to this mark, you cannot escape me. Even in death. Anko jumped up covered in sweat and shaking like a leaf. It was just a nightmare. Anko-chan, are you okay? Came a voice. She looked to the person. She was laying on top of Naruto from last night. They were still on the couch from when they got back from their date. Oh Naruto, I was so scared, she said as she put him into a vice grip. She began to tell him of her terrible nightmare and how it related to her two worst fears. Forever bound to the curse mark. And losing Naruto to the snake bastard. He sat there and listened to her rubbing her back to calm her down. Which she did. He leaned down and kissed the top of her head. Don't worry, Anko-chan, I am going to be Hokage. The greatest there ever was. And I already told you. I won't leave you. Ever. Promise of a lifetime, he said with that foxy grin she loved. You're right, you won't ever leave me. 'Cause if you do, I'll cut off your penis and feed it to you. Then I'll cut the bitch you're with up and feed her to my snakes. Then I'll give you to Ibiki-Nissan. Naruto gulped at that. Ibiki didn't fuck around. Why would I do that when I have you, Anko-chan? He said fearfully. Good answer, and I know you wouldn't leave me. And with that they drifted back to sleep. Skip. Anko and Naruto were walking around the village enjoying the day when Ko-chan. The couple turned to see Kurenai coming towards them. Hey there, I've been looking for you. Okay, what for? She asked confused. Remember I told you I got a babysitter yesterday, so we could go have some girl time? Kurenai said. Oh yeah, I forgot about it after the Hinata incident. Sorry, Anko. It's okay. But how are you, Naruto? I heard what she said. That was really hurtful. She had no right to say something so awful. And to someone with such a kind heart like you too. Oh, I'm fine. It got to me, I won't lie. I don't really care what people say about me. I guess it was just the shock of who said it. Both women nodded. Well, Night-chan, let's go. I'll see you later, Naru-kun. And with that they left. Wonder what Kakashi-sensei's up to. And he then left to find his perverted sensei. He never found him though. He had been stopped by the most unlikely person. And possibly the scariest son of a bitch around. Ibiki Morino. Ah, just the guy the first wanted to see, he said as he slung his arm around Naruto's shoulder. Hey there Ibiki-san, how's it going? He said, now on edge. Oh, it's great, but call me Ibiki. But that's not what I came here for. So you're dating my little Nei-chan, huh? Well, I just came to say I'm happy for you, he said with a smile. Naruto now relaxed somewhat. But if you break her heart, you will wish you never met me. You got that, he said now in a very intimidating way. But you do make her happy, which is good for you. You know, she actually smiles now around the T and I. Not her I'm a scary sadistic woman smile, but a smile. Ibiki, I would never hurt her. And she already threatened my manhood if I did. Then she'd make you deal with what's left. Ibiki chuckled at that. That sounds like Nei-chan, all right. So how are you after the little heiress blow up? I mean, I'm a scary guy. And will do some fucked up shit. But to actually wish you failed during the pain invasion and get captured. That's heartless. Thanks Ibiki, I'm fine. I don't care what she says about me. But don't talk about Anko-chan. Oh Ibiki, I want to ask you about. With Anko and Kurenai. Currently the two were at the dango shop. Just talking about how they were going to go shop since Naruto gave her access to the Namakazi bank accounts. And they knew he wouldn't care. He told Anko she could use it whenever for whatever. So why not? Anko, I'm gonna go use the bathroom before we go. Be right back. Kurenai. Anko-san, said woman turned to see Sakura Haruno. Oh fuck me. What did I do to deserve this? She thought. Oh Sakura-san, did you need something? Anko asked, being polite. On the inside she wanted to play with the girl. Shut it, skank. How dare you take Naruto-kun? What he sees in you I'll never know. You should be dating someone your own age, she said in an angered tone. First off, don't call me a skank, you bitch. Second, it's what he saw in you I'll never understand. And I can date whomever I want. Same for Naruto, she said, now pissed. Please. As if. Maybe after all the rejection I gave him he just wanted some easy whore. You know, just to boost his confidence. When he's done he'll just leave you. He has always wanted me. Why would he want a easily angered, loud-mouthed banshee that can't stop putting him down and putting him through a wall all the time? And all he did was ask to spend time with you. You treated him like shit. You never saw him for him. You only used him for your own gain. And if that meant you got the traitorous Uchiha back, well shit, you would have thrown Naruto to the dogs the moment he was back. Only after the Uchiha died did you take an interest in him. It's just like he said he would only be second place. Get out of my face, bitch. Anko. Sakura only seemed to get angered and attempted to knock her through the restaurant. That was a bad idea. Anko had way more experience in combat than her, so she ended up face first in the dirt outside the shop. Sakura got up and left in an angered state, most likely to break something. Anko turned around to take her seat only to see Kurenai staring at her. Well, Ko-chan, I just can't leave you for a second, she said. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine as long as the bitch gets the picture. Let's go shopping. Naruto's loaded with cash and he told me I could use as much as I want, when I want, she said, now really wanting to find something to wear for Naruto. Huh, you got lucky. He's rich and handsome. Makes me wish Asuma was still around. It's kind of lonely, just me and little Asuma-chan. Kurenai said, slightly sad at the thought of her late husband. Night-chan, you know I moved into the Namakazi estates with Naru-kun. It's only the two of us in that big compound. If you want you could probably move in with us, she said with a smile towards her adoptive sister. No, I couldn't, Impo. Night-chan, it's no problem, I'm sure. You're like my sister. And besides, little Asuma-chan adores Naru-kun. He'd love to be around his auntie Anko and uncle Naruto. I'll ask him and then you can move in, okay? She said with a smile that said, I won't take no for an answer. Fine, only if Naruto says it's okay though. Great. Anko. With Naruto and Ibiki. I'm sure she'll love it. Ibiki said. Okay, good, well I'll see you around, Ibiki. And with that he went in search for his sensei. Again, he found him leaving the bookstore. He had just picked up Jiraiya's new book. Oh, he was lucky Anko wasn't here. Kakashi-sensei, what's up? Naruto asked in his normal energetic tone. Oh well, if it isn't the future Hokage himself. How are you, Naruto? It's been a while. How's things between you and Anko? Great. Everything is going great. But I came to ask you for a spar. Not many people can keep up with me nowadays. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head with a grin. Huh, I just got this book, but I guess I could make time for my student. Kakashi said, slightly disappointed he couldn't read. How about we walk and you can read till we get to the training grounds? Sound good? Naruto. Lead the way. Kakashi. Oh, and sensei, I want your opinion on Naruto. With Kurenai and Anko. Yes, just charge it to the Namakazi account please. Anko said with a smile. So that's your game, slut? Came a familiar voice. Kurenai knew who it was. Anko just thought, again sighed troublesome. With Shikamaru. Achoo, Shikamaru. Shika, be careful or you'll get sick. Yoshino. Yes mom, Shikamaru. Back with Anko and Kurenai. Both females turned to see an angry Hyuga heiress. So you're using him for his money and family name. You dirty slut. Naruto-kun deserves so much better than some harpy. She said with a sneer. Hinata, stop it. Kurenai. No sensei, I won't let her use him. Hinata. Use him? That's bullshit. I don't use him and I never have. Anko. You are right now. All those bags you're hauling around. All of which you charged to his bank account. You're only using him for personal gain and I find it sick. Hinata. You want to talk about sick? How about what you said to him yesterday? Huh? That was fucked up. I would never wish something like that on a person like Naruto. Or how about we talk about how you stalked him constantly? Using those eyes to follow him around. Then you dare say that he is yours. You may have confessed to him truthfully, I'll give you that over the pink banshee. But don't you dare say that he's yours. He can see whoever he wants. And it clearly isn't you. So back off, you fucking stalker. It's really creepy, you know. And with that she left, not wanting to speak with the Hyuga. Sensei, you see it right. She only uses him. It's no, Hinata, enough. You had your chance. I'm sorry it didn't work out how you wanted. But Anko had just as much a chance as everyone else. Naruto chose who he wanted. I'm sorry but you lost. You are still young, you have a chance at low. I can't believe you would choose her over me sensei. How could you? And then she left. Kurenai then left to find Anko. Hey, you feeling okay? You looked like you wanted to kill her. Kurenai. I'm fine. I just hate how they act like they own him. Sakura used him. She treated him like dirt. Hinata couldn't even hold a conversation until after the war. Even then she still had problems with it. She still follows him. We always have to wonder if she's around. It's so frustrating. I wish they could see they lost. It's game over for them. Then the earth started to shake. And there was a loud explosion in the distance. Well, I guess I found Naruto-kun. Let's go, Nai-chan. 2 minutes earlier with Naruto and Kakashi. Geez Naruto, I'm about to die and you haven't broken a sweat. Kakashi. Yeah, well, let's wrap this up. Shall we? Naruto. Naruto began charging up a wind Rasengan. Kakashi however charged up a Chidori. They charged and the two deadly techniques met in a clash for dominance. Imagine when Sasuke and Naruto met in vote. The explosion was enormous. The two flew in opposite directions and skidded to a stop. Naruto got up and made his way to Kakashi, whom still hadn't gotten up. Well sensei, you need help? You look a little rough. Naruto said. Well yeah, that would be nice. And with that they made their way towards the village. On the way they ran into Anko and Kurenai. Naruto-kun, how could you? You went and had fun beating on Cyclops without me. Anko said in mock sadness. Anko-chan, well you should have said something. You could have helped. Naruto. Kakashi was scared. What if Anko had been there? He shuddered. Well, it was nice seeing you three, but I feel safer being lost on the road of life. Poof, and he was gone. Oh Naruto-kun, I was wondering? Kurenai-chan lives in her apartment all alone with Asuma-chan. So I was wondering, she trailed off. Why, of course you can live with us. My estate has plenty of room. It would be great to have you there. Naruto. Skip. Kurenai and little Asuma moved into the house next to the main house in the compound. It didn't take long with Naruto's army of clones. It was an easy move for Kurenai. Asuma-chan was just happy to be around Uncle Naruto. Right now Anko and Naruto were cuddled in their bed talking about the day events. Naruto was pissed that Sakura and Hinata had harassed Anko. Anko laughed when she found out about Ibiki protecting his little Nei-chan. Naruto however left out a specific detail about what he did today. They then fell asleep. Naruto had just woken up. Anko was still asleep. Now it was time. He had to prepare. It was gonna be a big day. He worked his way out of Anko's grip without waking her. When he did, he went to their living room and made some clones. One went to make Anko breakfast. Another went and left to the forest of death. The real Naruto left to talk to Kurenai. With Kurenai. Today was a good day. She would spend the day with Anko today. Naruto sent a clone after they left yesterday to speak with her. After she heard the news she was ecstatic. She needed to keep Anko busy for Naruto. And in return he had to watch little Asuma. Knock knock. Well Asuma-chan, Uncle Naruto is here to play with you today. She smiled at seeing the reaction she got from Asuma. He was really excited he got to play with his uncle. She went to answer the door. Well hello Naruto-kun, you ready for today? She asked. Yup, I'm all set, I have clones setting up for later. Just keep her away from the forest. She can't be there all day. Well Asuma, you ready? The toddler only giggled. Now Naruto, you take care of my son okay? Or I'll have to kill you. Oh, and no training at all. He can't start until he's 5. Then you can teach him some things after I give you the okay. Kurenai said now in mother mode. Oh Kurenai, do you really not trust me to look after a kid for a couple hours? Naruto, you're right, but if so much as a hair on his head is hurt, you will never see the day you make Hokage. Good luck, Kurenai. Skip with Anko. Anko woke up due to the smell of food now filling her senses. She loved when Naruto cooked. She got up to find the table full of food. But no Naruto. She did find a note. Dear Anko-chan, I am currently not here. I have some things to do today. But don't worry, I'm only watching Asuma for Kurenai. She wanted to have a girl's day or something. But hey, I'm gonna take you out for dinner today, okay? So maybe you could go get a dress or something. Love, Naruto. Well then I guess I will have to get a new dress. Oh well, are those waffles? When she got done she heard a knock on the door. Just a minute. Oh Kurenai-chan, good, I was just about to come find you. Oh well then shall we go? Kurenai, we shall, Anko. With Naruto and Asuma. Little Asuma was now riding on Naruto's shoulders playing with his golden locks. Naruto was trying to figure out what to do with a 2-year-old. Well Naruto didn't know you and Anko already had a kid. You never told me. Came someone behind him. Oh, you mean this little guy, Kakashi-sensei? This is Kurenai's kid. Asuma, Naruto. Of course it is. It's just fun to tease. He replied with an eye smile. What are you up to? I have no idea. I was told I wasn't allowed to train, so I have no idea what to do. As luck might have it, Asuma's stomach growled at that moment. Well, I'm not an expert, but maybe he's hungry. Kakashi said. Okay, we'll go eat. You want to join us, sensei? Naruto? Why not? Kakashi. Oh, and sensei. Seeing he got his attention, continued. You might want to put the book away. Kurenai would be pissed if she found out you were reading Icha Icha in front of him. Fine, I guess you're right. Skip. Well, little guy, the first may not get to train you, but as your uncle it is my duty to teach you about the paradise of ramen. And with that Asuma's face lit up. He seemed happier than when they left the compound. Hey Naruto, good to see you. Came a new voice. Ya Ayame-chan, it has been a while. Let me introduce you to this little guy. Asuma, Kurenai's kid. Oh well, aren't you just the cutest? Dad, come out here, Naruto's here. Oh Naruto, good to see ya boy, what will you be having? Tucci. Hey old man, nice to see you. I'll have 5 misas with pork, 5 beef, and little Asuma will have 1 miso. Kakashi? I'll have 2 beef. Kakashi. Coming right up. Tucci. When the order came out, Asuma's eyes grew to the size of dinner plates. When given a fork he tried it. As soon as he did he dived in, finishing his bowl by the time Naruto had finished 4 bowls. Hey, you like it, huh? Well, you want more? Naruto. Getting a nod on response. Ayame-chan, I think the little guy wants more. Okay, well, the little cutie can have as much as he wants. Coming up. 2 bowls later. Okay, I think he's done. Naruto. If I didn't know any better I would say he was your kid, Naruto. Kakashi. He eats like a mini Naruto. Ayame. Oh Naruto, you keep bringing me customers with large appetites. You keep bringing me more business, my boy. Tucci. Okay, well, we're gonna go buy. Leaving some cash, he put Asuma back on his shoulders and left with Kakashi in tow. With Anko and Kurenai. Well, today was another successful day. We got to go shop, go to the spa, and I didn't have to worry about Asuma all day. Kurenai. That's because Naruto is watching him. He won't do anything to hurt him. Anko. Yeah, you're right. Now noticing the time. Well, we should head back. Naruto did say he wanted to see you for something. Kurenai. Skip. Asuma-chan, did you have fun with Uncle Naruto? Kurenai. Asuma. Huh, did you just say something, Asuma-chan? Kurenai. Anko and Naruto just watch. Asuma. He said mama. He said mama. Kurenai. She then leapt at Naruto. I don't know what you did, but thank you, Naruto-kun. Kurenai. I didn't do anything. I just took him for ramen and to the park. Naruto. Ramen, came Asuma again. His second word. Kurenai now excited more than ever. Ramen. Asuma. How you did like that? Well, you did have 4 bowls. Naruto. 4? Anko. Ya go figure you loved it. Naruto. Ramen. Asuma. Asuma-chan, can you say auntie? Anko asked, trying to get him to say it before he said uncle. Ramen. Asuma. No, Asuma-chan ontie. She said. He started. It sounded like oh. There you go ontie. She repeated. Clunc uncle. Asuma. Ha ya, you love your uncle Naruto huh? No, little Asuma. You were supposed to say auntie. Anko said, disappointed. Kurenai only giggled in amusement, then said. We can work on saying auntie, Anko, but for now I believe Naruto has something for you. Oh yeah, hurry Anko-chan. He grabbed her hand and they disappeared in a yellow flash. Well, you had a big day huh? Kurenai said, looking to Asuma. Ramen. Asuma. With Naruto and Anko. They appeared in front of the tower in the center of the Forest of Death. Okay Naruto-kun, what is so important you drug me out here for? Anko. Well Anko-chan, I know this is sensitive, but I can remove your curse seal. Forever. He said, knowing she might get angry for bringing it up. Naruto-kun, if this is a joke it's not funny. Anko said, now scared that he might be teasing her. Or pissed he was lying. No Anko-chan, it's not a joke. I can get rid of it. Really I can. Trying to reassure her of his ability. How? She asked. Well, it'll be painful, really painful. But really I just have to bite you. Use Kyuubi's Yuki, let it purify your seal, and then it'll break. Then I extract the Yuki and done. Gone. For good. Anko thought about this. She wanted it gone but was just hoping he could rid her of her curse. Okay Naruto-kun, let's do it. He led her inside the tower where some seals had been placed all around the room. Mostly chakra suppressors, to keep people from arriving here upon the Yuki spike. Okay, you ready? He asked. He got a nod. He pulled her to him and put his left hand in her hair to support her head. He gave her a quick kiss and tilted her head. Focusing his Yuki, he elongated his canines and bit down right on her seal. Anko gasped out in pain. It was like her insides were on fire. She could feel the Yuki tear through her network. Her legs gave out but Naruto just held her to him. After what seemed like eternity the pain began to leave. And when it was, Naruto helped her gain her balance. Did it work? She asked, nervous that she went through that for nothing. Naruto only held up a mirror. Look for yourself Anko-chan. He said with a large grin on his face. She looked then threw the mirror aside and held Naruto. She had tears of joy. Thank you Naruto-kun, thank you. Of course Anko-chan, I knew you'd love it. Naruto said as he held onto her. But we gotta go, we have a date tonight. He grabbed her hand and again left in a yellow flash. They appeared in the compound courtyard. Kurenai was waiting for them. Ko-chan, let's go, we have your dress at my house. She then took Anko away. Skip. Naruto was once again wearing a black shirt and slacks. With a purple tie. He had a bouquet of red roses. And once again he was nervous. But he threw that aside to go to Kurenai's house. Knock knock. Kurenai answered the door. Come in Naruto-kun, Anko will be down in a minute. And he waited. When he heard footsteps he turned to meet his date. He had to pick his jaw off the floor. Again, she was wearing a new purple dress much like the one she wore for their first date. And again had her mother's snake pendant necklace. She looked gorgeous. Anko-chan, you look stunning. He said, and you look handsome Naruto-kun. She replied. He held out his arm and she took it. Well Kurenai-chan, we'll see you later. Naruto. Have fun, she said with a smile. Skip. They were at the most expensive restaurant in the whole village. Naruto requested a private table with a view. Being a future Hokage he got it. They had dinner and enjoyed the view of the balcony they were on. The sun would set in about 20 minutes. Well Naruto-kun, this was a very enjoyable date. You spoil me, you know. Anko. Of course I do. But I love it when you're happy. He said with a smile. Well, with this damn curse mark gone I'm very happy. Anko. I know. Naruto said as he placed the money for their dinner and a very generous tip on the table. Well, I have one more thing planned. Naruto, he said, holding out his hand. Oh, and what would that be? She said with interest. She took his hand and they left. They arrived on top of the 4th's head on the Hokage monument via Hirishin. Watching the sunset, he answered. Anko turned and watched the sunset. Naruto wrapped his arms around her from behind and set his head on top of hers. The whole time Naruto was nervous. More than he had ever been. This moment could make or break him. He let go as the sun set. Anko kept watching. Anko? Said Naruto from behind her. Yes, she said as she turned. She gasped. Naruto was on one knee with a ring presented to her. It was a gold custom-made ring. It was a snake with a large purple gem in its mouth. It was beautiful to her. Anko Mitarashi, will you marry me? He said with all the confidence he could muster. Yes, yes, of course, Naru-kun, she said with joyful tears in her eyes. Naruto slipped the ring on her finger and stood up. He gave her a big, long, passionate kiss. Thank Kami, he said with relief. Well, now you got me and I won't let go. She said. I won't either. They left in a flash. They didn't sleep much that night. Today was the big day. Naruto was thrilled. He thought back to the previous week's events. When he and Anko weren't planning, they did their own thing. Naruto trained, according to Tsunade. This was more of him just going through paperwork so she could drink. Anko, well, she went to work more often. She came back happier than normal. When he would ask how her day went, she would just say, same old, or, nothing much. He shrugged it off. But today he was nervous. He was in a room awaiting his wedding, surrounded by his best man and groomsmen. He was a nervous wreck. What if I happen to say something wrong? What if I accidentally offend one of the other 3 cages? Would there be a war? Oh Kami, I could start the 5th grade shinobi war. What if? Naruto. That's better. You will do fine. You just do what you practiced and in a couple hours you'll be on your way to spring country for your honeymoon. Okay, just calm down. Gaara, although he wouldn't admit it, he was extremely annoyed by the way his best friend was acting. Yeah bro, it's all good. We have Neji doing security, so we don't have Anath. Kiba, who was quickly shut up by a load of sand covering his mouth. Troublesome, just in case some of your enemies try to catch you off guard. Shikamaru assured. BWA. Oh Kami, it's in my nose. I can taste it, it's so dry. Kiba. With Anko. She was not faring any better. What if I trip when I'm walking down the aisle? Does my hair look okay? My makeup? Anko, calm down. You're just slightly stressed. Kurenai. Ya Anko-chan, just relax. In a bit you get to go get married to the blonde stud waiting for you. You go. Yup, besides you look great. Bet you'll even knock his socks off. Hannah. You're right. Thanks. Anko. Skip. All guests were in attendance, including several daimyos, all 5 cages, and several shinobi from throughout the elemental nations that Naruto knew. All the bridesmaids and groomsmen were waiting. The maid of honor, Kurenai, was calmingly waiting for her best friend. Gaara, as best man, was giving Naruto a small boost of confidence. Everyone was all chatting about the to-be newlywed couple. When they all stopped at the sound of music, they turned to see the bride being escorted by her brother figure Ibiki. Naruto stopped breathing when he saw her. Although he couldn't see her face, he could tell. She looked amazing. When he came out of his daydream, Anko was being handed off. Ibiki whispered to him, "Good luck," before turning and taking his seat. They both turned to see the fire daimyo. He would be doing the ceremony so that Tsunade and the other cages could attend. Both bride and groom paid no attention to him though, until they gave their vows. Then, "You may kiss the bride," he said, then gave a small step back. Naruto lifted Anko's veil to stare into her pupil-less brown eyes. And vice versa. After a second they both leaned in. Their lips met and they immediately felt at peace. All nerves were calmed. It was as though all the people who came to see the wedding didn't exist. Just the two now, Mr. and Mrs. Namakazi. Skipped a reception. The reception was great. The newlyweds had their first dance. And had just opened their gifts. They received all sorts of things. Jiraiya even gave them a complete limited edition set of Icha-Icha. He said that he might learn some things. But they just got thrown at him book by book to the head, courtesy of Anko. Although Naruto was surprised, he hadn't received one from Tsunade. Until, "Okay Naruto, as you know, you are like a son to me. A bit of a brat, but like a son. And since the day you came back from your trip with Jiraiya, I knew." That one day you would be a great Hokage. You weren't there yet, but you were on your way. You managed to outdo your own father and complete his jutsu. When you left for your sage training, I knew that you would be strong enough to take my place soon. Sooner after you defeated Pain. Then again proved my assumption of you wrong when you came to the battlefield of the war. And single-handedly stopped an army of Zetsus and S-rank shinobi. Then when you stopped Madara and Kabuto, I decided that it was time for you to take up my job. But now that you're married, it's time. My gift to you is helping you obtain your dream. Earlier than expected. From this day forth I, Tsunade Senju, retire from the position of Hokage, and put my successor, Naruto Namakazi, the Rokudame Hokage. Congratulations Naruto. Not only did you obtain your dream, but you now have a loving wife. One who I know will keep you in line. Now come here, brat, she said with a smile. The wedding guests applauded at the announcement of the new Hokage. She then commenced to give him a bone-crushing hug. She also whispered, now hurry up and give me some grandkids I can spoil in my retirement. Of course, Ba-chan. He replied with a smile. Tsunade let go only to turn to Anko and give her a hug as well. Keep him in line, and make sure he does his job. And like I told him, I want grandkids to spoil. She told her new adopted daughter-in-law. Now why would I deprive you of that? She said with a grin. And with that they proceeded to enjoy the evening. Skip. The reception was wonderful. Everyone had enjoyed themselves. Currently the now husband and wife were collecting their bags. With a puff of smoke came a shadow clone to carry their belongings. Naruto proceeded to pick up his bride, bridal style, and in a flash of yellow they were gone. In the hotel in Spring Country. Here you are Mrs. Namakazi, your honeymoon suite. Naruto said with a loving smile while carrying her towards the bed and setting her down gently. Why thank you Mr. Namakazi. Care to join me? She asked seductively. Her reply was a deep kiss. When both came down from their pleasure high, Naruto fell to Anko's side. Anko rolled over so she was now resting on his chest. He then wrapped his arms around her midsection. That was amazing Naruto. Anko said tiredly, but clearly satisfied. Yeah, you weren't too bad yourself. He said also tired. I love you, Naruto. She said before drifting to sleep. I love you too, Anko. He said before kissing the top of her head and letting sleep overcome his senses. Skip. After 2 weeks of enjoying their vacation and doing whatever they felt like, they were now headed back to Kahona. Both were silent as Anko snuggled into Naruto's shoulder as they traveled. They reached the village walls before deciding on splitting up. Naruto to his new office and Anko to their house. She was tired the last couple days. After a quick kiss they went their separate ways. Anko hurried to their house so she could lie down. However, when she reached her bedroom she felt sick and went to the bathroom. She then proceeded to puke the contents of her stomach into the toilet. Oh Kami, am I, she thought. With Naruto. Naruto was walking down the road to the Hokage Tower. Waving to everyone who waved to him. He couldn't help but think of how great life was. He was now Hokage, had a loving wife, and hopefully a family soon. As he got to the top he passed Shizune who was carrying a box labeled, Tsunade. It was mostly bottles of sake. Hello Naruto-sama. How are you today? She asked in a happy tone. Shizune Ni-chan, please no formalities. No sama, from you okay? He ordered, asked. Of course Naruto-kun, she said smiling. At that moment Tsunade exited his office. Ba-chan, how are you? Naruto asked. Fine brat, you ready for your new duty as Kage? She asked with an evil smirk. Oh how she waited to see him crumble under the ultimate undefeatable enemy known as paperwork. Yup sure am, he said knowing where she was going with this. So he had 5 clones poof into existence. Get to work, he said with a smile. Tsunade for her part sat there looking like a fish out of water. She was surprised and slightly enraged at the same time. So rather than assault her new Kage she left with a whatever brat. Oh Shizune Ni-chan? I was wondering, since Ba-chan is going to run the hospital full-time now and you seem to be kinda out of the job. Would you like to be my assistant? After all you have experience and you wouldn't have to deal with me being asleep all the time. He said with a grin. So what do you say? Oh I guess I could put up with you Naruto-kun. She said happy he offered her the job. Well then help Tsunade move out and take the rest of the day off. He said. After his recruitment of his new assistant, Naruto went to his office. When he arrived he saw that the clones had just finished most of his work. The only thing left was some documents that needed a thorough assessment from the real Naruto. So he decided to get to work. However, halfway through he received a knock at his door. After allowing entry to his visitor he was nearly done. "Ah, hello, Shizune Nichan, what can I do for you?" he asked. He was curious as to why she was here. He did give her the day off. "Ah, I just wanted to see how your first day was going, Naruto-sama," she said with a smile. There was a hidden message in her smile. "And, I know something you don't know" smile. "Well, it's been great, my paperwork is now finished for the day. So how is your day off going?" he asked, trying to find out the secret. "Oh, it was great, but I did have an interesting day when I was helping Tsunade-sama at the hospital though," she said, trying to keep her secret a secret. "Oh, anything you would like to share?" he asked, still trying to figure out what was going on. "Nothing, Naruto-sama. Wouldn't want to break doctor-patient confidentiality now, would we?" she said, trying to get him of the subject. Naruto just shrugged it off. "Well, okay, if there isn't anything else I'll see you tomorrow, Ne-chan," he said as Shizune left. However, seconds after the door shut another knock came. He allowed entry and was surprised again at the person entering. It was Anko. She had on a smile. Kami, how he loved that smile. He got up and gave her a kiss and a loving embrace. He then brought her to the window of his office and embraced her from behind. "And what do I owe the pleasure of seeing you here today, Mrs. Namakazi?" he asked lovingly. "Well, Naruto, I have great news. But maybe you should sit down," she said. Naruto was still oblivious. After sitting Anko down in his desk chair, he pulled one up for himself. He then gave her his full attention. "Naruto, I'm pregnant," she said, expecting him to faint. However, he sat there in thought as a huge smile made itself known on his face. He then moved to pick her up, sit himself in his chair with Anko in his lap. "Anko-chan, that's wonderful. We get to have a family. And you get to be a mother. This is great," he said, excited. "And you get to be a father," she said, happy he didn't faint or get nervous. "Well, this calls for a celebration." "Anbu," he stated as 4 of his personal Anbu arrived. One had a dog mask. It was Kakashi. He was reinstated per his request so he could be Naruto's personal Anbu. He was wanted to make sure that he and his new wife were safe. So he chose reinstatement. The second wore an eagle mask. It was Neji. After the bachelor party incident and him being commissioned during the wedding by the case cage, he was offered a position into Anbu. Tenten beat him until he accepted. After joining, he was asked to join his personal Anbu by the Anbu commander. Him having the Byakugan and being close to the Hokage made the job easier. The third wore a deer mask. It was Shikamaru. He personally thought it was too troublesome to be an Anbu. But he wasn't going to be just any Anbu, but the Hokage's personal Anbu. After some thought he realized life was never boring around Naruto. So he accepted. Finally, the last one had a bug mask. Shino had accepted the offer with little thought. It was logical to be of service to his friend and Cage, after all. "Will you 4 gather my friends and those I consider family and have them meet at Ichiraku's?" he asked, ordered. With that they left to accomplish their tasks. "Well, Anko-chan, let's go, we have news to deliver," he said as he took her hand and led her to their destination. Skip. Everyone was now waiting for the Hokage and his wife to show up. Kakashi, Shikamaru, Neji, and Shino also arrived. But not in Anbu attire. They, along with Tsunade and Shizune, knew what the couple wanted to announce. The 2 women were ecstatic. Tsunade would be getting a grandchild to spoil. And Shizune would get to be an aunt. Everyone else in the room had no clue as to what was going on. Kiba and Shino went to see how their old sensei Kurenai was faring. Little Asuma was on his 5th bowl of ramen, to which Kurenai was angry and astounded. Team 10 was talking to one another, while Neji and Tenten listened to Flames of Youth from Guy and Lee. Kakashi was talking to Ibiki. And Tucci and Ayami were watching little Asuma drain bowl after bowl. Honestly, if they didn't know any better, everyone in the room would assume the 2-year-old was Naruto and Kurenai's kid. Then everyone heard the familiar noise of the door opening. Ichiraku's went under renovations ordered by the Rokudame to become a larger restaurant. They all looked to see Anko enter, followed by Naruto. "Well, everyone is here, so," he began before being cut off. "Uncle Naruto," he heard before he saw little Asuma charging towards his uncle. He proceeded to pick him up and started a conversation with the boy. Well, if it isn't Asuma. He stated with a smile. Mommy says Dad you are the Hokage. He said in amazement. Oh yeah, well, at least you listen to your mom. What have you been doing? Huh? Naruto asked the small boy. I had ramen, he said, yelled happily. Oh, have you now? Well, I bet your mom doesn't like that. He said kinda nervous. No, she hates it. I don't know why, it's awesome. She says Dad you are gonna get Hugh one day. He said confused. Oh well, he said as he dug through his pocket. He retrieved a small amount of money and handed it to him. Go give this to her, okay? He said as he set him down. When he did, Asuma took off towards his mother. Everyone smiled at the two. They thought the small interaction was cute. For Kurenai though, it just made her somewhat sad and jealous. As I was saying, we have an announcement. He said proudly. Anko-chan, would you like to do the honors? He got a nod. We're gonna have a baby, she said happily. All around the room everyone was happy for the two. But then the words settled into their heads. Naruto plus Anko equals baby equals OMFG. That kid would be a ramen-loving, dango-eating, hyperactive, maybe sadistic, kind-hearted, thick-skulled child. Herschel would have huge reserves. Never be tired from godly stamina. Possibly frightening or a prank master. She would be kind-hearted, that would be certain. But would be a total disaster to try and raise easily. No one in the crowd wanted to babysit for quite a while. Well, except Tsunade and Shizune. Possibly Ibiki. He could torture someone with a hyperactive loud-mouthed child. The possibilities. Then another thought crossed their minds. Anko plus pregnancy equals bye-bye Naruto. An overly hormonal Anko would be horrible. Poor Naruto didn't have a chance. They all thought of who would be the Nandame Hokage. Kurenai, while happy, couldn't help but feel saddened. Poor Asuma wouldn't have a father. She would be alone. She pushed those thoughts aside to go and glomp her sister figure. The two shared a girl moment while Naruto got to have a chat with Kakashi and Ibiki. Skip. The soon-to-be parents were currently lying down in their bed. They just lay there and snuggled. Naruto? Anko asked with a nervous tone. Yes, Anko-chan, he said. Do you think I'll be a good mother? She asked, nervous. Naruto wanted to laugh. Of course she would be. But instead reassured her. Of course you will be. Why would you ask? As he tightened his grip on her. No reason, just nervous, she said with more confidence yet still slightly nervous. Naruto just kissed the top of her head as they drifted off to sleep. 5 months. 5 months of hell. Naruto was at first happy that he and Anko would be parents. But then he discovered the evil known as pregnancy. Currently Naruto was running to get his wife some food. Again, her order was humorous, but he dared not tell her that. Flashback 10 minutes ago. Naruto-kun, yelled a hormonal Anko. Naruto, who was currently in his office finishing his paperwork, paled. What does she want? No, he thought, frightened. She came from the room next door. Naruto had Shizune set it up so that she would always be close by in case they needed to run to the hospital or do other parental things. Why yes, Anko-chan? He asked nervously. He remembered the last time he had told her he was busy. Not even the Hirishin could get him away from the snakes Anko sent his way. I'm hungry. I need you to go to Ichiraku's. And I need you to follow my instructions very carefully. She said, emphasizing the very. He nodded. Good, now I want you to get me a normal ramen, extra large, with sushi in it. But have them cook it because if it's raw, I'll barf. Then, she was cut off. Why don't I just get you a seafood ramen? Naruto deadpanned. His reply was a glare that said, don't get smart with me. Never mind, continue. He said, scared. Good. Then add a lobster claw, crab legs, and then go to the dango shop and get me my usual. Add 4 sticks of dango to the ramen, then come back. Okay, thank you. And with that, Naruto left for the billionth time to go get Anko a strange meal. Flashback end. Naruto just arrived at Ichiraku's. He found Tucci and told him of Anko's odd order. Cooked sushi. That was a laugh. He sent a clone to the dango shop. It was easier on him. One that he wouldn't have to make 2 trips. 2 so Anko could eat and then take a nap. It was better when she was full and well rested. Skip. Oh, gimme gimme gimme. Anko said childishly while stretching her arms out much like a small child would. Naruto had been told many times by his friends and comrades that when he ate ramen it was extremely fast. That it was like watching Might Guy run without weights. But not even he could follow Anko as she proceeded to inhale her food. She was done before he even reached his desk and sat down. "Ah, that hit the spot. Thank you, Naru-kun," she said, extremely satisfied. Naruto muttered a, "You're welcome," before continuing his work. He was stopped when Anko asked, "Naru-kun, I was thinking, can we get me a cot or something?" she asked. Naruto looked up at his wife and blinked. He was confused at her new thought. "And why, Anko-chan, would we do that? You have our bed at home and a room next door that you can use whenever." He said, "Well, it gets lonely in there. Shizune-chan comes in occasionally, but I don't like it. If we got me a cot, I could set it up in here. I wouldn't have to tire myself getting up to find you or Shizune. And I would get to spend all day with my Naru-kun," she said sweetly. Naruto thought of the ups and downs to this. But he took too long. As Anko burst into tears. "Never mind, Naruto, if you don't want to be around me, just say it. Don't make up some excuse. Am I not what you wanted? Am I not pretty?" she sobbed hysterically. Naruto opened his mouth to retort, but never got the chance. "Naruto, if you're cheating on me, I'll make you wish you never got me pregnant," she roared. She was now angry. Damn hormones, he thought. Of course not. I would never cheat on you, Anko. And you are just as beautiful as the day I met you. To answer your question, yes, you can stay in here with me, he said, trying to calm her down. Yay, my Naru-kun loves me. He wants to spend time with his Anko-chan, she said slightly childishly. Troublesome hormones, he and one of his Anbu thought. Dog, he exclaimed. Said Anbu appeared kneeling before him. Please go find me a cot for Anko-chan. Put it on my account, he said to please his wife. Hi, he stated before disappearing. Skip. Naruto was currently helping Anko up to their room so she could sleep. He wasn't tired but had some work to do. He got Anko settled and went to the kitchen. Before he made it there, he heard the sound of glass breaking. He got into a defensive stance and stealthily entered the kitchen. He got over his fear as he saw Kurenai sweeping up a broken dish. She had long ago moved her and Asuma into the main house to help out Anko with her pregnancy. And Naruto. He may not have survived some of the things Anko threw his way if not for her diffusing some difficult situations. Oh, Kurenai-chan, it's only you, he said with a smile. Oops, sorry, Naruto-kun. Where did Anko-chan go? She wondered. Oh, she's asleep, he stated. Would you mind helping me with some of this paperwork? I normally get it done early, but today was unexpected, he asked her. Of course, she answered. The two then proceeded to clean up the broken glass, then go to the living room to finish Naruto's work. It didn't take long between the two of them. But when they got done, they decided to talk and catch up. They didn't get to see each other much after Naruto's promotion. They talked about missions, training, even life itself. Then Kurenai got depressed. They somehow got on the topic of Asuma. She tried her best but couldn't hold back tears. It's so lonely. Having little Asuma doesn't help. I love him to death, but it's hard knowing he doesn't have a father. You're the closest thing to a father he has, she cried. Naruto brought her to his chest to try and calm the sobbing woman. And so she did eventually. When she did, she pulled away from him and looked into his eyes. They held concern for her well-being. That told her he cared. But then, with her emotions still running haywire, she did something unexpected. She leaned forward and kissed him. She held his head in place with her arms around his neck. Naruto's eyes went wide. He couldn't get out of her embrace. Soon she pulled back and had a look of bliss on her face. Then she realized what she had done. Oh, Kami. Naruto, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Don't think less of me, she pleaded, almost on the verge of tears that he might be angry with her. He stayed silent, trying to sort out what just happened. Naruto, please talk to me. I'm sorry. I was in a very distressed place. When you comforted me, I just. She couldn't finish her sentence as tears spilled out of her ruby eyes. Kurenai, I forgive you, but, we have to tell Anko-chan. You know it will cause problems if we don't, he stated as calmly as possible. He was still trying to make sense of this. Naruto, please don't tell her, she said desperately. He went to retort but was cut off. I will tell her. It was my fault, not yours. I will take account for my actions. Just please don't tell her, she pleaded with him till she got a nod in response. Kurenai, looking at the clock on the wall, saw that they had been up all night talking. The sun was coming up. Naruto would be heading for work and Anko would need to get up to go with him. I'll go wake her and tell her now, she said, slightly scared at what her sister might say or do to her. She got up and went to Naruto and Anko's bedroom. She opened the door to see Anko still asleep. She went over and sat on the bed and gently shook her awake. Anko, wake up, she said. Anko, after trying to nudge the annoyance away, woke up to see Kurenai looking at her with a tear-stained face. Kur-chan, what's wrong? She asked worriedly. Anko, please listen to me. I need to tell you something. It's important, but promise me you won't interrupt me till I'm done, she said with fear in her voice. Anko nodded. She then proceeded to tell Anko of the previous night's events. Anko was shocked. She didn't get angry. She figured that after Asuma that her loneliness would add up. Add to the fact that Naruto was like a father to Asuma and it didn't help. She understood, so she would make things right. Kur-chan, I know you're lonely. I know you want a father for Asuma. I know you're cautious about who is around him. Naruto is everything you could want in a man. Strong, handsome, protective, kind, and I don't hate you. I'm not mad. I have a solution for you, she said with a smile. She then began to tell Kurenai her solution to her problem. Skip. Naruto was currently accompanying Anko to the hospital for a checkup. Anko came down after her talk with Kurenai to find a worried Naruto. They talked and Anko assured that it was okay and the problem had been solved. So they left to see Tsunade. The couple was walking to the hospital holding hands and smiling to everyone who said hello or waved to them. They were happy, and no one dared to glare or speak ill of his Anko-chan. That stopped immediately after the marriage. They all fear what might happen to them if they disrespected Anko in any way. The wrath of Naruto was to be feared across the entire world. They arrived at the hospital and was told to go to their room. They did and waited. Tsunade came in with a smile. She was happy to see the couple here. It only meant her first grandchild was within months of being born. Naruto, Anko, it's good to see you too, she said happily. They chatted for a while whilst Tsunade examined Anko. Okay, would you two like to know the? She asked. Both nodded. Tsunade's hand went green and moved to Anko's belly. Well, it seems you two are going to have a. Tsunade. Okay, would you two like to know the? She asked. Both nodded. Tsunade's hand went green and moved to Anko's belly. Well, it seems you two are going to have a baby girl. Tsunade said happily. That's great, huh, Anko-chan? Naruto said excited. Yeah, maybe at first. Wait till she gets older and starts dating. She replied teasingly. I'll kill them all, Naruto said now with a look that said, touch my baby girl and die. At that everyone laughed at his behavior. Skip 4 months. Anko at 9 months preg. Naruto was sitting at his desk like usual. He had done all his paperwork and was now relaxing. Anko was laying down on her cot sound asleep. Naruto smiled. Any day now he and his wife would become parents to a baby girl. Naruto, deciding that he had enough work for the day, went over to Anko's cot and lay down behind her. He slid his arm around her swollen belly and held her. Anko noticed the change and woke up. Naru-kun, are you done for the day? She asked tiredly. Yup, can't think of a way better to spend the afternoon than with you, he said. Well, have you thought of a name for our daughter? I thought we could use your mother's name, she said. Well, what was your mother's name? He asked. My mother? Her name was Hitomi. Why? She asked, not understanding his question. Hitomi? Hitomi Namakazi? I like it, he said. Anko, now understanding him, agreed. Her mother was precious to her. So now that she is gone, it would be nice to have their daughter named after her. Hitomi, it is then, she said. Then she felt something. Naruto, she said hastily. Came the reply. Naruto, get me to the hospital. We're gonna have a baby, she said, trying to make him get up and hurry. Naruto, however, got up in a flash and picked Anko up. Then flashed to the hospital entrance, where luckily Tsunade was just about to leave. Skip. Naruto was lying on the hospital bed next to his wife. Anko was holding their newborn baby girl, Hitomi. She had a small tuft of purple hair the shade of Anko's. She had bright blue pupil-less eyes, a mix between her parents. She also had the whisker marks that Naruto had, only less defined. She just looked up in amazement at her parents and the world around her. She also sported the smile her father could always be seen with. She looks beautiful, just like her mother, Naruto said quietly, knowing Anko was tired. Yeah, but she has your smile. And I love your smile, she said tiredly. Would you like to hold her? Of course, this is my little Hitomi-chan after all. he said as he carefully took the bundle from Anko's arms. He then stood up and rocked her gently. "Ya, you are my little Hitomi-chan, aren't ya?" he said, getting a giggle from his daughter. He then went into daddy mode and went on showing her various things inside the room. Anko smiled as she watched their first interaction. She could already tell she would be daddy's little girl forever. Then the door opened up to reveal Tsunade and Shizune. "Oh, looks Hitomi-chan, it's Ba-chan and Auntie Shizune," he said, walking over to the two. Tsunade was happy and annoyed that now she would never get rid of the nickname. She was now, after all, a Ba-chan. Shizune was giddy as ever. She was an aunt. She loved the thought of being auntie. "Naruto, Anko, your friends are here to see you three. As soon as you're ready," Shizune informed with a smile. Anko looked over to Naruto to find him walking towards her and sitting down next to her. She gave a nod and left the family and Tsunade. "So, Naruto, how's it feel to be a dad?" Tsunade questioned. She knew he was as happy as can be right now. Even more so than when he achieved his dream of being Hokage. "Awesome, she looks just like a mini mix of me and Anko-chan," he stated from the bed. "Anko, how is it being a mother?" she asked the new mother. "Amazing, she's my little bundle of joy," she stated quietly. Knock knock. The door chose to open to reveal Shizune, followed by everyone who came to see the happy family. Kurenai and Ibiki were up first. They were after all closest to family to the two. Naruto once again got up and entered daddy mode and greeted everyone. "Look, Hitomi-chan, Auntie Kurenai and Uncle Ibiki came to see you," he said excitedly. The baby girl just smiled and stared at her new aunt and uncle. That made everyone in the room let out an "ah." He then took her around the room to introduce her to all his and Anko's friends. He then decided to walk back over to Anko and give her back their child. She took her and smiled down at Hitomi. Knock knock. Everyone was surprised by the interruption. They looked to see the door open and entered the cage and his siblings. Everyone looked in shock that they arrived. "What? You didn't expect me to miss my brother's baby being born, did you?" Gaara asked. Naruto waved him over, to which the sand trio quietly walked over to see the baby. "Hitomi-chan, this is your Uncle Gaara. He may seem like an emotionless person, but trust me, he's a good guy," he said. Temari was next, to which she stated, "Ah, she looks just like you, Anko, but with some Naruto traits. Like the smile," she said, adoring the child. Kankuro was next, but stated what everyone wasn't thinking about at the time. "Yeah, Temari, you're right. Looks just like her. Wonder who she'll act like. Anko or Naruto?" he said, getting shivers around the room. Anko was kinda sadistic because of her job. She also loved to tease people. Not you, Ali, anymore, but just enough to get people flustered. Naruto was, well, Naruto. Pranks, never-ending energy, limitless chakra, loud. Yet they all hoped she was just as kind-hearted and friendly as her father. And caring and supportive as Anko. When Anko wanted to be, that is. Knock knock. Everyone again wondered who was at the door. And then Kakashi entered, last and late as usual. Naruto, however, wasn't amused. "And where's Sensei, have you been?" he asked, slightly annoyed. Everyone thought the world might end when he had a good excuse. "Well, I would have been here on time, but I had to buy a camera. Wouldn't want to forget this day, would you, Naruto?" Kakashi stated proudly that he had a legitimate excuse for once. The room got quiet. "What?" he asked. The rest of the day went by with several laughs and photos. One was of Anko and Hitomi. Another was Hitomi strangling the small fox plushie her daddy had gotten her. Another was Naruto holding Hitomi, both sporting huge smiles. Gaara had one where he managed a grin while he held his niece. Auntie Kurenai had her turn with her niece. She had Asuma standing next to them, both smiling. Ibiki held his niece with her back towards his chest and had a smile that no one had seen on him. Auntie Shizune got a picture where she was practically squeezing the life out of Hitomi. Kakashi had one where Hitomi's blanket had covered her left eye, giving her a Kakashi look. Tsunade got one where it looked as though she had mixed feelings. One happy of being a Ba-chan, and the other annoyed of being a Ba-chan. The last one was of Anko holding Hitomi, with Naruto next to her holding Anko. It was their first family photo. Skip. Naruto and Anko were at home. Hitomi sleeping in the crib in their room. Naruto held Anko in an embrace from behind, both gazing into the crib. "What a day," Naruto said. "Yeah, it is a good day. Anko replied happily. I'm tired. Naruto, carry me to the bed please, she said with a yawn. Naruto did as told and carried his wife to their bed. They got relaxed before drifting to sleep. Naruto was sitting in his office reflecting on his life. His daughter Hitomi was now old enough to enter the academy. Her first day was within the week. Anko was ecstatic to be a mother. She was however worried about her. Being a ninja was not a game. Kurenai, his second wife, was happy. She now had someone to be with and Asuma had a father. His face the day he found out that Naruto was his dad was indescribable. Flashback. It was 2 weeks after Hitomi had been born. And Anko, having just put her to bed, again, wanted to talk to him. Naru-kun, she started. This is important, so don't interrupt or ask questions till I'm finished. Now, you remember the kiss you and Kur-chan had a couple months back? Well, Kur-chan and I talked and well, she's lonely. She needs someone and well, Asuma needs a father. Asuma-chan has gotten so attached to you it's like you are his father. Well, Kurenai, well, she needs some loving, don't you think? So I think my CRA husband should do something. Don't you think? She said, seeing him understand what she wanted. Why yeah. Anko-chan, are you sure? Is Kurenai okay with this? I mean, I don't want to upset you or anything. He said, trying to see if this was a joke or a way to see if he was attracted to another woman other than his wife. He saw no ulterior motive. Of course. Besides, me and Kur-chan are like sisters. She is attracted to you. I'm not mad. She's just lonely. Besides, men don't want her because of Asuma or they just want to fuck. She stated, you're not like that. You actually care about her well-being. It may not be love, but it could be. I mean, doesn't my big stoon, kind Nawu-kun want Ku-chan to be hapwi? She said, using a woman's deadliest jutsu. The woman style. Puppy eye, cute wine jutsu. Followed by the woman style. Quivering lip, cute pout jutsu. He knew that he had been beat. There was no way around it. She was right, he did care for her. He did love her, but more of a sister-like love. So he would make the two women happy. Okay, Anko-chan. You go get Kurenai-chan and I'll go get Ba-chan, he said. Anko smirked and leaned up to give him a kiss. Skip. After the small ceremony they had Naruto fill out the necessary paperwork to adopt Asuma. When it was all said and done, Naruto received a kiss from his new raven-haired wife. Thank you, Naru-kun. You've made me very happy woman, she said, trying to let him know how much it meant to her for Asuma to have a father. And the bonus of having someone to love her again. Naruto just smiled and pulled her into a hug. Of course, Kur-chan, you know you only needed to ask if you needed something, he said with a smile. End flashback. Since that day both his wives tried to make his life as easy as they could. 2 wives, 2 kids, and an entire village to run. As well as maintaining peace between the elemental nations was no easy way to have a normal family life. But they made do. The kids were well behaved. But Hitomi had a large amount of her parents' personalities. She was kind, but also devious. She loved pranks, and occasionally scaring people with snakes. She was never like this around Naruto, however. She was always daddy's little princess. Anko and Kurenai always helped out when they could, though was never dull. If one was busy the other was always horny. And then of course there was times where they both were horny. Ah, fun times. Shaking his thoughts from his head, he noticed that he had memories of his paperwork. This meant he could go home as he was done. Knock knock. Enter, and to his surprise was his little angel, Hitomi. To which she instantly cried, "Daddy," and gave him a flying tackle hug. Hitomi-chan, what a surprise. Did you need something? He asked. He always loved to see his daughter. Yes, Daddy, can we go get some ramen? Then can we go train and you can show me a super cool jutsu? Huh, please Daddy, please. She begged. Oh, how she loved to train with her dad. She had a near endless chakra supply just like him, as well as ungodly stamina. I don't know, has my Hitomi-chan been a good girl? He asked. He got a series of nods and of course I have. He smiled. Well then, to Ichiraku's, he stated before he picked up Hitomi and disappeared in a yellow flash. At Ichiraku's. So Hitomi-chan, where is your brother? Naruto asked his daughter. He's with his team today, she replied. Asuma had just graduated from the academy. He was placed in Team 10. His teammates were Akira Hyuga, daughter of Tenten and Neji Hyuga, and Toshiro Nara, son of Shikamaru and Tamari Nara. Their Jonin-sensei was Ino of all people. It was quite the bunch. Of course he wondered when they would visit his office for their first mission. It would give him a bit of a laugh. "Oh, well okay then. Well if you're done let's go train. We'll use the Namakazi grounds okay?" he said as they opted to walk to their destination. They received many smiles and waves as well as the occasional, "Greetings Namakazi-sama." However when they reached the grounds he turned serious as did Hitomi. It was funny to see her try to be as serious as her father at her age. "Hitomi, how far are you with the summoning jutsu?" he asked. She smiled, ran through hand seals and slammed her hand on the ground. The huge blast of smoke later revealed a giant red toad and an equally big black cobra. It was Gamakichi the new toad boss and Tasuki the new snake boss. She overthrew Manda after Orochimaru's death. Both summons came to an agreement to allow Hitomi to summon both snakes and toads because of Naruto and Anko's marriage. "Hey there Naruto, and it's little Hitomi too," Gamakichi exclaimed. "Yes, it has been a while SSSS since my last SSSSSS summon," Tasuki exclaimed. "Whistle well you got it down." "Okay well Gamakichi, Tasuki-san thank you for the assistance," Naruto said. With a nod and a, "See ya bro," both summons left. "Okay Hitomi-chan, I'm gonna teach you a jutsu okay? But if I do you have to promise to never use it inappropriately, okay?" he said being serious once again. He received a nod and begun to teach her his favorite jutsu. The shadow clone. If he was right she would never be capable of using a normal clone. This just helped her to be on even grounds in the academy. Well as even as possible. Skip. At the end of the day Hitomi had learned the shadow clone. However she was extremely tired, she had fallen asleep just after completing the jutsu. So Naruto picked her up and went towards his house. He got to her room and tucked her in. He kissed her on the forehead and left the room with a smile. He got downstairs to see Asuma just now getting home. He looked tired, like he had been training all day. "So Asuma, how was your team training today?" he asked. "Oh, hey dad, it was fine. Ino-sensei is a slave driver though," he said tiredly. Then he seemed to remember something. And he had a burst of energy and excitement. "Oh yeah, and we tested our affinities today," he said proudly. "Oh, and what affinities do you have?" Naruto said, already having a guess at what he had. "Fire and wind," he said proudly. Naruto only smiled and spaced out. His mind drifted off to Asuma-sensei. How he also had a wind affinity. He and Naruto were the only shinobi in the leaf to have it. Now it was him, Asuma, Temari, and Toshiro Nara. They were the only ones in the whole village to have such an affinity. "Dad, no. Temari would teach Toshiro." "Dad," so that left Asuma to him. "Dad, how fun it would be to teach him." "Dad," shouted Asuma. Naruto snapped out of it and looked to his adopted son. "You sort of spaced out there," he said. "Huh yeah I guess I did," Naruto replied. Asuma yawned and said good night before heading to his room. Naruto headed to the kitchen to find Anko and Kurenai having a conversation. "Hey Naru-kun, how was your day?" asked Anko. "It was fine. Got done early, took Hitomi to lunch and then taught her a jutsu," he said. Both women noticed that something was bugging him. "And? That doesn't sound so bad. What else happened?" Kurenai asked. "Well I just had a conversation with Asuma. They tested his affinities today," he said, hoping they'd realize what he meant. They didn't. "He has one for fire," he stated. Both nodded. It was common to have fire affinity. "And wind," he finished. Both women got what he was getting at. They both knew that he blamed himself for Asuma's death. It wasn't a good memory for him. Kurenai, while she still loved him, long since moved on. She had a place for him as she did for Naruto. She had never blamed him for Asuma's death. "Naru-kun, it's okay, it's not your fault," Kurenai said. "Y'all, it was a long time ago, and it was out of your control." Anko followed. Both women got up and helped him through his temporary depression. When he got over it they dragged him to bed. It was late. And tomorrow was a family training day. A day where Naruto, Anko, and Kurenai would all train Hitomi and Asuma. Anko and Kurenai fell asleep first. Anko snuggling into Naruto's right side, and Kurenai on the left. Naruto just cleared his head of everything. Feeling sleep take him, he kissed the top of Anko and Kurenai's heads. And let darkness take him. Today was the scheduled training day. They were at Naruto's old team training grounds. Anko, Kurenai, Asuma, and Hitomi were all ready. Today was the day they would learn the Namakazi family jutsu. Now everyone knew that Naruto had a vast amount of jutsu. But the ones he created were insane. In fact, no one in the family has ever seen the fabled Rasen Shuriken. Only from what they knew who had ever seen it were Aunt Ino, Uncle Choji, Tenzo and Uncle Kakashi. And that was before it was perfected. Since then no one had seen it. But Hitomi was going to try and get her dad to show it to them. And possibly teach it to them. They only needed to wait for him to show up. Naruto eventually did, but with guests. Tsunade Baan, Jiraiya Jiji, and Uncle Kakashi. They were confused. Wasn't today meant to be a Namakazi training day? Daddy, why are Ba-chan and Ero Jiji here? And Uncle Kakashi? Asked Hitomi. Well, they are family so they were allowed to come. Besides, it's not like any techniques I would show you they haven't seen. He said, all knowing to his daughter. Ero Jiji and Kakashi because they can help with things I can't, and Ba-chan because she wants to teach her grandkids some things. And when I train I kinda need a medic. He said sheepishly. The adults all laughed. The two kids however were confused. When he trains he needs a medic. Oh, how they wished they didn't need to stick with his training program. Okay, we all know our affinities except Hitomi-chan. Naruto explained. He then pulled out a square piece of paper and explained its use to Hitomi. She did as told and the results weren't shocking. It spilled in half, one side got wet and the other crinkled. So wind, water and lightning. Just like me. That makes things easier. He replied. Daddy, before we start can you show us the Rasen Shuriken? Please? Hitomi asked, hoping to get him to let her learn it. Yeah Dad, I heard it was your first created technique ever. I heard only Uncle Kakashi was one of the few to ever see it. Asuma exclaimed. He also wanted to learn it. Yes Naruto, that was a long time ago. And since then you have long since perfected it. Kakashi said. Naruto, I too would like to see the technique that managed to keep even you from training. Tsunade said. They all laughed minus the kids who didn't get it. Jiraiya, Anko and Kurenai had all heard about the technique but never seen it. They too hoped that they might be able to see such a powerful jutsu. It was considered a family technique after all. Well, okay, but you all have to stay back, it has quite a kick. He said. Everyone nodded and gave him some room. Naruto didn't need Sage Mode to accomplish this anymore. Or to throw it. He had trained for hours to obtain this, it wasn't wasted. He stuck out his right hand and formed a Rasengan. This is the base of Rasengan. But to obtain Rasen Shuriken you need to make it evolve. He said. He then added Wind Chakra and formed a Wind Rasengan. This is a Wind Rasengan. Even this is about cage level. But what I do next has power to cripple cages. He stated sagely. He then pumped more Wind Chakra into his jutsu. A loud ringing was heard. Then the ground began to crackle and break. Then as the Rasengan seemed to expand, chunks of dirt were sucked into the vortex. When he stopped pumping chakra the wind-like blades seemed to swirl around the bright white orb of power. This is the Rasen Shuriken, a dangerous long-range jutsu. What confused everyone was the fact that he said long-range. Didn't he need to thrust it into the enemy? Before they could ponder more they heard Rasen's Hurricane, and saw Naruto bring his right hand and technique back. Then he threw it. That shocked everyone. The amount of chakra inside of the orb should be too much to throw. Then as it swirled it made impact with a tree. The explosion was enormous. The wind that came from it was nearly unbearable. If not for them keeping chakra pumping to their feet they would have been blown away. When the explosion died they saw the large crater in the field. It was huge. Daddy, will you teach me that? Asked Hitomi. Yeah Dad, me too? Asuma also begged, asked. Haha, not now. You don't have nearly enough chakra to perform that yet. Naruto stated. Although you both having a wind affinity helps. Well now, everyone make 9 shadow clones. Hitomi, Asuma have 6 clones, follow me. Have one go with Jiraiya, Kakashi, and Tsunade. Kurenai, Anko make 5 and follow me. He said. Wait, what about us? Asked Asuma. He was confused about what the realdom would be doing. Well, you two are. He was cut off by Dynamic Entry and Yash. Then 2 odd-looking men in green spandex arrived. Are going to train in taijutsu with Guy and Lee. Naruto finished. Skip. Hitomi and Asuma were beat. They had to go through hell today. Training in strength and speed with Guy and Lee sensei was exhausting. They did manage to learn a lot though. like medical jutsu from Ba-chan, elemental manipulation from Uncle Kakashi, and several jutsu for said elements. They along with their mothers began to learn the Rasengan. They were beat, and they needed to be up early. Asuma had a mission and it would be Hitomi's first day at the academy. With Naruto, Kurenai and Anko. Anko and Kurenai were beat. As it turned out the Rasengan was actually quite difficult to learn. They managed but barely, and it wasn't nearly on Naruto's level. They also trained with Guy and Lee for strength and speed. Not to gain but to maintain. And Naruto wasn't even tired. He was barely winded after the whole day. So now they opted to cuddle with him. Nawu-kun wiwugwo get mwe some dangwo? Anko asked childishly. Anko, you're so childish sometimes. Commented Kurenai. Well, sorry, but someone had us all train with the Spandex brothers. And now I'm tired. So please Naru. She stopped and smiled. Anko? Finally you act your age. Kurenai stated. No, I'm not. Naruto just loves me, she said proudly and pointed behind her. Kurenai turned to see Naruto holding a large bag of dango. He also had a smile on his face. Yeah, I kinda left to get her dango when you told her to act her age. Hirishin works wonders, he said sheepishly scratching his head. Kurenai just hmphed. And Anko began to feast. When she was done she made Naruto lay down next to her so she could cuddle and eventually sleep. Kurenai came back with a nervous expression, yet somehow happy. Naruto? She said shakily. When he replied she continued. Naru-kun, I'm pregnant, she stated unsure of what to think. Naruto, who was half asleep, was now wide awake. He was happy, but quite surprised to hear about it. So he began thinking. When he didn't reply Kurenai grew worried. Anko was listening and saw her expression. Kur-chan, it's okay, you just surprised him, that's all. He's happy, I can tell, she said to calm her sister. Kurenai nodded and was surprised to now feel her feet now not on the ground. Kur-chan, that's great news, Naruto said as he placed her back on the ground. Kurenai felt relieved and just pulled him tight. He held her then brought her back to bed. They fell asleep soon after. Skip. Today was a big day. It was Asuma's first C-rank mission. Hitomi's first day at the academy. And the case cage was coming for a visit. It was really for Asuma and Hitomi's birthday. Which was surprising, only a week apart. But for one Anko Namakazi, it was the day she found out that her and Kurenai were both pregnant. Naruto knew about Kurenai but she had just found out. And hadn't told anyone. So she made her way over to the Hokage's office. When she arrived she saw Asuma and his team leaving for their mission. So with a quick knock she entered to find Naruto working on his paperwork and Kurenai sitting on the nearby couch. Naruto, without even removing himself from his work, asked, Anko-chan, how are you today? Anko, however, gave a quick rundown and pondered on how to break the news. Well, Naruto, how does it feel to have another baby on the way? She asked with a smile. Amazing. It just means I will have a big family, he stated happily. Yeah, that is nice, huh? Well, I have news for you. I'm also pregnant, she said. Kurenai was shocked. Naruto apparently didn't notice, he was so into his work. Well, it is nice to have a big family, and I for one am. What? He said, just now processing the information. Kurenai just sat there and smiled. Anko, however, was enjoying the reaction. She remembered how he was when she was pregnant with Hitomi. Now he had not one but two pregnant wives. What was he gonna do? Oh, that's wonderful, Anko-chan, he said, having flashbacks of when Anko was pregnant. It had been 1 month since the Namakazi family learned of their additions to the family. Naruto was counting down the days he had left till both Anko and Kurenai became moody. But today was a day off. Hitomi and Asuma didn't have any missions. And Naruto used clones to do his paperwork. So everyone was hanging around sharing stories. Kurenai had just told one of the funnier, Team 8 Tora missions. Everyone had a good laugh. Mom, how did you and Daddy meet? Hitomi asked curiously. She wanted to know how her parents met and fell in love. As a girl, falling in love was like a dream. Or a fairy tale. Something she hoped to achieve. Hearing the question, Naruto turned to Anko and leaned over to whisper to her. Should I tell her about our first meeting or when I saved you in the war? He asked her. He would have gotten an answer until Asuma brought in his 2 cents. Ah, no, please don't tell us that. I don't want to hear about a mushy love story. The young boy whined. I want to hear one of Dad's stories about his battles, he said. Naruto then got his answer: he could please both kids with one story. Well then Asuma, Hitomi, you can have both. The story I'm going to tell you is about the hardest battle I've ever fought. And Hitomi, it happens to be the time I rescued your mother. Let's see. It must have been around the time a little while before you were born, Asuma. This was the Fourth Shinobi War after all. And an evil man named Madara Uchiha was trying to obtain the 9 Biju. He explained. Flashback. That's all for my now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.